Jim Schultz here for Calculated Risk, and don't forget, before we get rolling today, the best ways you can help us are liking the video or subscribing to the channel. Either one of those guys really helps us out a lot. So you can build your entire portfolio, the whole thing, around one strategy. Now sure, you can get off into the weeds, and you can do a bunch of other things, get a bunch of strategies into the mix if that's what you prefer. And you can certainly be very successful going down that pathway forward through the forest as well. But if you want to keep things super simple, if you want to keep things super straightforward, you can build it all out from one strategy. And of course, I'm talking about the short put. Not only is the short put one of the simplest strategies that you could deploy, but I would actually argue it's also one of the most effective. So let's dive in. So the way a short put sets up, man, it is so simple. You go out of the money, you sell a strike. We'll talk about strike selection here in a little bit, and then you're done. Like, that's it. That's the whole strategy. You're not talking about iron condors with 4 legs. You're not talking about butterflies with 3 legs. You're not talking about, spiked lizards or jade lizards or other lizards, like really anything from the lizard family. This is a single strike strategy. It quite literally gets no simpler. Okay, so it's super simple to set up, but this is only the beginning, because now you effectively have 3 different things all working in your favor. So number 1, you've got positive delta. And longer term, it's kind of hard not to be a perma bull. Now, I understand all the perma bear propagandists, they've got it all figured out on the internet. Like, they know this thing is coming down, the house of cards is going to fall, and it's going to happen today before the close. But if we can just entertain at least the hypothetical idea that that might not happen, and the market will continue its upward trajectory over time, then playing the market to the upside with a positive delta is a really effective strategy, if history is any guide. So that's number 1. Number 2, you have positive theta. Right? You've got the clock working for you. You've got the calendar working for you. Time ticking away is your friend. It is benefiting your position. I mean, this obviously applies to all short premium positions, but since a short put is a short premium position, we have to highlight this fact right here and right now. Having time working in your favor, not needing to be right directionally, is an incredibly powerful advantage when it comes to just trading in general. But then number 3, you are also short Vega. So I'm positive delta, I'm positive theta, but I'm negative Vega or short Vega, same thing. This essentially means that if volatility contracts, that's going to benefit my position. Again, this is going to be a blanket statement that covers all short premium positions, but it is absolutely relevant here with the short put because, again, that is a short premium position. Well, what does volatility like to do? It likes to contract. What does volatility like to do? It likes to live on the lower end of the range and or grind down even lower. And so when you put yourself in a position to benefit from that volatility contraction, that can be incredibly advantageous. And the short put does exactly that. So you have the advantages of delta, theta, Vega, and you have the advantage of simplicity. Right? Again, iron condors and diagonal spreads and calendar spreads and whatever else, they certainly have a place in your portfolio and essentially everyone's portfolio at one time or another. But man, that simplicity, it's its own advantage. Like, it's so much easier to see what should I do when X happens? What should I do when Y happens? Because you only have one strike to manage, because you only have one strike, a single strike to focus on, that becomes much clearer. So let's hop into Tasty Trade and let's take a look. Okay, so here I am inside of my Tasty Trade platform, and you can see I'm on the Tasty default watch list. And again, since this is a short premium strategy, I'm looking for something with high implied volatility. I am looking for something with a relatively high implied volatility rank. And so going to one of the, pre-populated watch lists, like a Tasty Default, like a Tom's watch list, like a High Options Volume watch list, whatever it might be. Maybe we'll see a Dr. Jim watch list at some point in the future, but I wouldn't hold my breath. If I sort this guy by IV rank from high to low, then that's going to filter out essentially the low implied volatility rank opportunities and give me a really nice picture of what has high implied volatility. Now, right now, there are so many different stocks with earnings right now. I think focusing on the indexes can really make a lot of sense. And so if you were to look at something like the Qs, you can see I already have a position on in the Qs. The Qs with an IV rank of 82.5 would be a great candidate. I'm not going to choose that right here simply because I already have a lot of exposure in the NASDAQ. So if I scroll down a little bit, you may have seen I already had this guy kind of, loaded up here on the screen. IWM. IWM is the Russell 2000. IWM is a broad-based market index, and it does have an IV rank of 38.7, so about 39. So that is a really nice looking opportunity to sell premium. Okay, but now we go over to the trade page for IWM, and maybe I go into the September cycle with 51 days to go, since that is kind of closest to that 45-day marker. Again, anything between 30 and 60, I think you're going to be in really, really good shape. And so when it comes to strike selection, this basically boils down to one thing and one thing only. One thing with maybe 7 or 8 different parts. This is the classic probability credit trade-off. This is the classic pop credit trade-off. So I'm selling a put. So I'm obviously going to be on this side of the market. I'm going to be focusing on these strikes. Right? I'm going to be looking to sell some out of the money put somewhere that is below where the current stock is. The current stock is at 289. Let's call it 290. So somewhere in here. Now I may even go further down in strikes, but just based on what is visible on the screen right now, I'm going to be with some out of the money marker. Okay, easy enough. How do I decide where to sell my strike? Again, this is always your decision. This is your call. Generally speaking, if you want higher probability and you're okay taking lower credits, and maybe you want a quote-unquote safer play, then you would choose a lower delta, so something that is further out of the money, that's even lower in strike, so 277, 270, right, 265, etc. If I am okay giving up some probability, but I want higher credits and I'm taking a bit more risk, now I'm going to be closer to the at-the-money strike. So now maybe I'm 273, I'm 277, I'm 282, and so on and so forth. And so if we look at, like if I were to click on this 282, I personally really like a trade like this one, just as at least a starting point for analysis, because we're right at the 35 delta. And you can see I'm collecting about $6 for the trade. And my pop is right around 70%. My P50 is 83 to 85%. It's moving around, obviously, as the market moves. Looks like it's pretty much, oh, there you go, 83, 84. A lot of positive theta, which is what we talked about. A lot of positive delta, which is what we talked about. If we saw Vega, it would also be positive on this trade bar. And everything about the trade really checks out. Now, the buying power is a little bit high. I mean, $5,000 is probably a little bit too big for my account at $37,000, because I like to probably stay, typically between 3% and 7%. I might bump up against 8%, 9%, even 10% from time to time. But this is definitely a little bit too big for my account. But it's still great as an illustrative example of how to think through a short put. But let's say, whether it be buying power or any other reason, you're looking at this and you're like, hey, I think I would like to maybe take a little bit less risk on the trade and give myself an even higher probability and give up a little bit of this credit. Well, you can do that by moving the strike. So I can move my strike from 282 to, let's say, 277. And look at what happens. So my probability went down. My probability went up, of course. My probability went up from 70 to 75. My credit went down from $6 to just under $5 now. And I even got a little bit of savings on the buying power, because I'm taking on a less risky trade. So the brokerage firm is requiring me to put up less capital to hold this position. Now, you might be thinking, I would like even more buying power savings. I would like even higher probabilities. And I'm willing to give up even more credit in exchange for those things, because again, it's always that trade-off. Well, maybe you push this guy all the way down to a 271, just as an example. Now my pop is 81. Now my credit collected is 359, and my buying power effect is under 4,000 now. Still a little bit big for my account, and I would say to do a trade such as this one, probably want 50, 60,000 in your account at least. And of course, you can take these principles and apply them to any stock across the board or any index across the board. But this is the power of the short put. As long as IWM stays above 271, you're going to keep this whole premium if you take it all the way to expiration, which is not typically something that we would suggest, but you could certainly do that, of course. That's entirely up to you. Even if you manage it early, if IWM stays above 271, then you're going to hit whatever profit target you might have for the strategy. And so I really, really love the short put. Let me count the ways, and hopefully this makes a little bit of sense. Now, when it comes to management, what are some things to think about? Well, number one, managing at about 50% of max profit is a great starting point for where to take off those winners. Number two, if you get to around 21, anywhere between 21 and 14 days, and the trade hasn't quite worked yet, you haven't hit your profit target or what have you, that's the time to probably move it out to the next cycle if you want to keep it on, or just close the trade if you want to take it off. And then if the strike actually goes in the money, if the stock actually goes down such that the strike is in the money, don't forget, you can always manage the loss. You can always go 2x, 3x of credit received. You can do a bunch of different things that we'll have to save for another calculated risk because this one's already a little bit long in the tooth. You can always just take the stock though. This is the beauty of the short put. I can just take the stock and I can hold it. I can take the stock and now I'm a long-term investor. That is always an option with a short put. I hope that helped. I'll see you guys in the next one.